Hello and welcome again to Safety Short, the series. Today's topic is why accidents happen. Now, perceiving or observing and finding root cause is important so that accidents don't happen again. In order to ensure that total protection of workers, preventive measures have to be adopted to controlling the hazards and to prevent accident. Industrial accident prevention work in India did not begin with the early stage of industrialization. Hence, labor laws were enacted and time to time remedy certain ill notice in the working condition. In common with much other social legislations, there was time lag between the appearance of unsafe and unhealthy working condition and the legislation which was designed to eliminate them. Now, enforcement of provision of labor legislations has brought about reduction in hazard in the industry. Accidents are basically caused by the due to the absence of management control. But truly, let us quickly take this short video on why accidents happen to understand it. Accidents or ill health and incidents are occasionally inevitable, or we can say random events. They generally arise from failure in control and often have multiple causes. Although immediate cause of any event may be human or technical failure, such events usually arise from organizational failing, which are the responsibilities of management. Most organizations focus on controls on technical front but forget to identify human limitations. Technologies have provided us means of safekeeping, but identifying limitations and interrelation between human and technology mostly leads to unfavorable or disapproving situations and conditions. Accident prevention is relatively simple because accidents are caused by the presence of hazards. Accidents are preventable. Simple techniques have been evolved for accident prevention through experience. An effective safety program requires to minimize the potential of harm, reduce the risk. In doing so, first and most important part is to identify the hazard. Coming back to our topic today in safety shots, and that is why accidents happen. To understand this, one must understand what is safety. Is it just freedom from accident, or is it reduction of accidents, or it's all about compliance or legal requirements? Now, mostly people focus on legal requirement part and hence fail to realize the true sense of safety. In industry, safety means control over hazards one can never mitigate. Hazards, like say for example, hazard posed by a chemical which is carcinogen, or a concentrated acid, or any explosive substance, any inherent property of the material. The risk they pose, however, can be minimized by initially preparing a suitable risk assessment and then following the procedure laid down in that risk assessment, but we cannot remove the core property of that substance or potential. So what to do? Now there is a lot that can be done, but what to understand that today's topic, mostly people talk about solutions but not the problem. Unless problems are identified or estimated or evaluated, how can you decide which solution is suitable? So first, let's define accident. What is accident? Any unplanned event that interrupts or interferes with the orderly progress of activity. All accidents do not necessarily cause physical or personal injury. Now this is the basic definition. So this is by definition. Now let's understand first why so. Accidents are said to be unplanned events that interrupts or interferes with the orderly progress of activity, for no one can plan accidents. Can you say that in a year 10 or 5 accidents, next year 3 accidents, likewise? No, no, we cannot say that, right? So we don't do that. Hence, it's called unplanned event. When accidents take place, employees stop their work, everyone rushes to the scene of the accident, and production activity stops. Hence, the event that interrupts or interferes with the orderly progress of activity. Now, lastly, suppose something falls from the top. If someone is below that falling body, we will get injury. But if no one is below that falling body, then no one will be injured. However, that event has the potential to cause personal injury. Hence, our definition state or stands true, as accidents are any unplanned events that interrupts or interferes with the orderly progress of activity. All accidents do not necessarily cause personal injury. Correct? Now, let us start with the source. Identifying the source. Correct? So, let us start with that. So, let's start with the source. Identification of source. What are the different sources? Man, material, and machine. These are three M's. Are the sources. Now that we have identified source, let us step by step understand them from the accident point of view. Men or human. Equipment don't work on their own. Initially you require men or human to start them, plug them, maintain them, install them, right? So what are the responsibility of men? Any activity that human perform has of cause possibility to cause harm. Now human failure often a result of limitations of the capabilities, may it be physical or mental. Now, humans have limitations that we often neglect, which mostly leads to potential or one of the biggest reason for accident. Let us understand human reason for accident first. Suppose the very first reason that comes to our mind is memory lapse. Now, this includes forgetting a step in work progress or a safety measure. The second point is impaired judgment or reduced reasoning power, now resulting in slip, trip, falls, sometimes even caught between equipment, objects, or structures. That happens because of your impaired judgment. If you were confident you will be able to do it, but you were not, you get stuck, right? Now intention or inattentiveness or distraction. Inattention or distraction. Now you are usually people, if you what was the cause of an accident? So if you are distracted, then it leads to. The fourth point is delay or false sensation of sensory organs. Now, sometimes what happens is we perceive things from sense perceptions, from touch, from looking at it. So, when you have delayed response, sometimes when you're too tired, you have a delayed response, and that leads to an accident. Lack of competence and experience, that comes to the your mental level. If you don't know the work, if you don't know the task what you're performing well, then you will end up in making mistake. Skill level inadequate for the task performed. Personality or attitude, such as negligence, arrogance, or overconfidence. Poor risk perception due to poor knowledge and experience. And finally, physical limitations like fatigue, dehydration, stress due to vibration, noise, lighting. So all these comes into physical limitations. So this concludes the human reasons for accident. So these are the identified human reasons why accident happen, because why there are human failures. So these are the possible causes. Now coming to the machinery aspect. Now machines are man dependent. Still, there are possible reasons how machines can contribute to accident. When we think of these reasons, following things come to mind. First, let us see machine reasons for accident. Unsafe loading, that is manual charging of material for a process. Correct. Now dangerous moving parts, that is rotating part of machine where people are exposed or have access while working in the area. Stored energy in any form, may it be hydraulic, pneumatic, spring, in place, or either stopping, holding, or keeping machinery in function. So these are all stored energies. So these stored energies are also potential hazards. They can release instantaneously by some faults. You know, bypassing safety devices like limit switches, sensors, and intended which are intended to stop the machine. Using wrong tool or equipments, like use of improper tool to open the machine part or access the part that carries specific equipment or tool demand, resulting in damage to the device, which later results into a failure. Operating without authority. Say you are not authorized to operate or know the sequence of operation. So there the machine will fail. Then machine malfunction due to damaged parts, may it be mechanical or electrical or electronic. Correct. Overload due to overload or possible malfunction or both electrical mechanical function often results into fire, explosion, collapse of machinery function. So all that. And finally, component failure due to improper maintenance, overload, substandard component, wrong usage. So all that comes into machinery aspect of it. And finally, we'll talk about the material aspect of it. So every machine is intended to, process material or task. When machine relation or main operation is not specified, material damage or material loss occurs. In chemical industries, pharma, petrochemical, the task in hand on men and machine is to process material. Correct? Even in engineering, material is metal or fabrication. In construction, material is used, and processed and used in constructing. Hence, material is also equally important. Material processing is basically time, temperature, pressure, compatibility, and precision work. If not done correctly, material losses are certain, and sometimes, if wrongly done, can lead to disaster in process, damage machine, and can be higher potential for human harm. So let's understand the component also. You know, like material reason for accidents. First is unsafe handling of material, like charging of material, unsafe use of material in wrong sequence, even transfer or storage in wrong temperature, and non-compatible material stored together. So that comes under unsafe handling of material. The second point is reactivity. Now materials specifically in processing are often generate internal energies and often result in expansion, explosion, exotherm, accidental release of temperature, pressure, resulting in in runaway reaction kind of arrangements. So that comes under the reactivity part of it. Now processing means specific demand of mechanical function as desired by machine operation, not helping resulting in material properties change, even material becoming reactive in certain conditions. Suppose it was required to be stirred at a particular speed, or it was required to be maintained at a particular pressure. So all that comes under the processing part. The fourth point comes to spillage, that is happening during process material handling, which may lead to other possible hazards like exposure, risk of contamination, corrosion, oxidation, explosion, exotherm, taking it into a reaction to the environment, you know, or causing harm to human. Spillages, because you need to control the spillages. And lastly, leakage, same as spillage, might be the cause of mechanical component failure, which may lead to similar results same as spillage or reactivity, etc. Now this concludes a short brief on why accidents happen. Hope you like the video content. As it's short video, so limited information is part of the video. Safety Short, as we discussed, is a series focusing on small, short safety videos. We have till now completed videos on systematic learning on construction, industrial safety, and other services. Thank you for all your support. Keep liking and sharing, and do not forget to subscribe to us for our motivation. We'll keep on posting more such videos. Till then, be connected and stay safe. Thank you.